I gotta click my button.
If you want to click my buttons.
Click them while you can.
If you want to click my buttons.
Why are you so far over there, honey? I've moved the Zoom meeting sheet so far to the right. It's like you're getting more on the left. Yeah, get in there. Yeah, I gotta move it
Get in
more.
there.
There you are. Hello, good morning, and welcome in to another fine episode of Good Morning NASDAQ. I'm your host, Dom. We are joined today on this free Wednesday by Mr. Huddy, the Huddinator. Say hi.
Hello.
By Mr. Kyle Williams, the Kyle Williamator.
Hello.
And today we're going to be shaking things up a little bit. Most mornings at Good Morning NASDAQ, we are going through the pre-market prep, going through the gappers, the biggest runners of the week or the day, talking about their dilution, their fundamentals, their daily charts, talking through long and short biases, and then just kind of doing that that was a burp, all morning. On Wednesday, we like to shake it up, give you guys a little sneak preview of what goes on over at clovertrading.io, and we post watch lists every single night. So on Wednesday, we like to go over them for you guys. Make sure that you've hit that thumbs up button, that you're subscribed right here to the channel. And right now, I'm going to do a little housekeeping. You know, Kyle called me last night, and he was all, like, upset, and he was like, Dom, like, I don't know what to do. It's the holiday season, and I don't know where I'm going to find, any discounts on trading services. And I said, Kyle, I'm not even kidding with you. I have the solution. 30% off all 3 and 4 leaf, 3, 6, or 12-month subscriptions from now till January 1st using code JOY30 at checkout. That will get you pretty much 30% off everything, I believe, except Kyle's new guide. So
I think it's like except any of the guides. My guide, except I think Trading Tickers.
Okay.
The guides, the subscriptions, and I think the recaps that are the discount.
So head on over to cloverchain.io. There's a button that's like spread the holiday spirit. Click that button. Joy30, get yourself 30% off. That's 30% off a year-long membership if you choose to do so. That's sharing the shit. That's sharing the savings there, okay, guys? Next thing on my list, using my pen again today, guys. Bootcamp tickets are here. They are live on the site, cloverchain.io. I'm sure a pop-up again will be like, boom, Bootcamp, New York City. Click that link. Get yourself in. January 1st, prices are going to go up. The price is right now $450. Cheaper than it's ever been for an early bird boot camp. We want as many as you possible there. So get yourself. We're going to New York City. We're going to see the Empire State Building for the first time. That's where Elfstad worked. Pretty cool spot to get a picture in front of or something like that. As well as tonight, within like 11 hours, we'll be giving away a Christmas spirit. We'll be giving away a free 3 and 4 leaf month-long subscription. So if you've been walking around watching the free content, gosh, I really am hoping for something to just fall out of the sky and get me in the Clover room for free without having to pay the $7 for 7 days trial. This is your opportunity tonight on Wine Wednesday. This is where you put your jersey on and get in the ring. All you have to do is go on over to the Clover Twitter account, the most recent tweet describing all the rules, enter your email, like, retweet, be in the free Discord, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then be live 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, the 20th of December, Wednesday, Wine Wednesday, Clover's Us. Be there raffle, and you can win yourself a free 3 or 4 leaf subscription for a month. All right, and last thing is that merch is available. Link in the description. I have harassed management to give me one of everything for free from the merch site just so I can actively and accurately and efficiently sell it to you. So I will start wearing Clover merch as well, and you'll be like, whoa, I really want that. Link in the description. Get on over there. Buy it up. Kyle, let's kick it off. Whoa, button, is the like button not being supported like it should? Oh, it is. Okay. Whew, I was nervous there. All right.
I wish I could talk like that, where it's like, where Dom's like, raffle free you when Wednesday be there. It's like like one word sentences, but it makes sense. Like, oh,
it's motivation. Okay.
Yeah.
So we better see you all tonight, even if you are already in the 3 or 4 leaf, or you don't really care to be in at all. Join us tonight. It's a great conversations. The 4 of us sit down, have a drink, whatever you want, a glass of tea, a glass of wine, a scotch on the rocks, and you know what? We sit and we talk about stocks. And that happens tonight, but tonight it's a little better. We're giving away a free ticket. So be there, or be square. Kyle, what's going on in the market? It's Wednesday, the 20th day of December, as we wrap up 2023.
Well, let's check it out here. So, ICCT was yesterday's really sick overextended gap down. Worked to a charm perfectly. Spiked right to red green and then failed.
And that 150 is right now, huh? Weird.
Yeah, Dom was very convicted it would eventually see 150s. So yeah, gapping down here, I don't really have an interest to play it long or short. Short being, 150s is I think was the lowest it was going to get. It could go lower, so by no means does that mean I can't short it here, but I just don't want to. I don't think the odds are that much in my favor anymore. But I also wouldn't long it, right? But I could see it being a long, compelling idea for like a first green day. Now it's only really had one red day. The top day was kind of a doji kind of red candle, but not a red day. So I'm 250-50. I don't really know what goes on today. I think whatever goes on today is not in my odds or wheelhouse of what I like. So I am going to be watching it, but I just don't have a play on it, right? Yesterday I took the best play I personally could on it. And so we're going to leave it alone today, but we're just going to keep an eye on it. SHOT, I still have a swing short. I was telling people in the Clover webinar yesterday, getting a little bit frustrating only because I didn't think it would hold up this well, this long. Has had quite of a grind of a bounce the last 4 days in a row. Although I don't see this bounce any different than the other previous bounces that I think eventually this will get sold into. I just didn't think, what this late in the run, we'd still be hanging around here. So still got my trade plan, still got my risk, still got everything intact. If it gets back over 5, I may even consider adding. But nonetheless, I'm still monitoring it as any swing trade would. What else? NCL, another lovely liquidation play yesterday. We talked all about those. We've been talking about all those in Clover trading last few days just because they've been kind of insanely scary. However, with NCL dead now, this is kind of, in my opinion, if you're gonna step into the realm of these scary things, this might be the easier play. Now, granted, I don't even know if it's a play. I think that it needs volume, but it is gapping up, which is the good first start. But we need volume. If this thing has no volume today, then I don't see a play. But if there is volume, then I could see, I don't know, 50, 60 cent pull maybe. Maybe just a pull to red green, which is only 20 cents, which isn't that great. So overall, it's nothing spectacular. But we have seen a lot of these day 2 moves continue lower, or at least give you another fade lower. So there's that. NKLA gapping up. I had a small short on it over the last 2 or 3 days, and unfortunately, just impressively held. I mean, I was short, risking off $1. Got all the way down to 81 cents. Thought, great, I'm going to cover it like 77, 78, 79. Didn't happen, came right back. So I covered it yesterday for pretty much break even. Very frustrating. But now here we are gapping up 96. So I don't know if this is going to actually break out over $1. I don't really care to play it. If it does, I'm just here to watch and see if it does go over $1. Does it go to 110, 120, 130? Do we have a little, kind of pretty strong and decent move? Because if so, I would love to be interested in maybe possibly reshorting. For those who don't know, NKLA is very dilutive. If you just look at any 6 month to a yearly time period, I mean, this thing is bottom right or bottom left to top right, or no, top left to bottom right. Yeah, straight down. Yeah. Other than that, PBLA I had watched, but it's gapping down too much, so no play for me there. Mullen announced their reverse split 100 to 1. They are now treating, I mean, they were in 10 cents, so it was going to open up at $10. Now it's still fading down to 8 cents. So I believe the reverse split goes active tomorrow, making it I guess if it closed right here, it would open up at like $8. Only reason why I'm making a note of it, because this is also, I mean, if there's any company more dilutive than NKLA, it's MULN. So this reverse split, I don't imagine does much to it. Yeah, it's going to take it to $8, but I just see a world where this ends up being right back down.
I think it's going to bring everyone together, all the shareholders, the CEO. I think it's going to bring
Yeah.
everyone together.
It's
This is the turning point.
Yeah, it's going to get everyone together. Everyone realize what they own, and they're going to be able to stop diluting. I have no idea, but that's kind of how I see that playing out there. So that's the watches today.
I'm excited to hear about Kyle's 6-month-long hold on Mullen for the next few weeks once he initiates that position.
Yeah, you think I like swing trading? Oh boy.
All right, I'll go next. I'm kidding. How do you can go next? Mine's really short, so
Okay, couple stocks I'm watching. LQR just kind of popped up on my scanner. Just right now, it's having a nice little pre-market spike here. I have zero plan for it, but that's it. That interests me, that kind of spike. So
what is
and the
this?
run up into it. So again, not something I'm really trading today, but that just kind of popped on my scans, and it will be something that I watch. POL, Polished Ink, is the biggest gapper of the day. On some kind of news that the shareholder is saying that if you care about your stock, you should show up to the next meeting and vote.
Oh no.
So it's not like the strongest catalyst I've ever seen for 105% gap up. At the same time, it's a 2 mil float. I'll be kind of watching it for a gap and crop just based off the news, but nothing too dilutive. Or like huge.
They got a lot of cash.
Yeah. Also, that was interesting. Like they have cash, and their burn rate is super. They don't burn any cash, and they have a lot. So, news is weak, but financial position, I wouldn't say it's strong, but I wouldn't say it's weak.
I'm guessing that's because they're internet retail, so they probably don't have to spend that much to do their job.
And then last but not least, I am watching the Bitcoin sector. You have your Maras, your Riots, your coins that are going pretty nuts. So, my job is to find a small cap version of all of that, and that is ANY for me. I do have an overnight long here playing the multi-day breakout. Usually the goal is to sell into a morning spike. We'll see if you can get the volume to really do that. I can see this falling apart pretty easily too. But this is basically the only stock that really fits my criteria in terms of, market cap and stuff like that in the sector. So that's why I kind of took a shot on it, and it's working right now. But again, only 200,000 shares traded, so it could be a dud. So either going to be defensive on that and just protect, and that's it. Pretty slow day, hopefully.
Yeah, it's been a pretty slow week. Just kind of had to pick your spots, wait for the setups. What do we got? Wednesday today, and then what next week? Is it a 4-day week, Kyle? Monday just off, and that's it?
Yeah, let me double check. I always have remembered one of the days being a half day.
I feel like that's usually when Christmas
falls.
at the end of the week. I feel like right now at the start of the week, because we have nothing for Christmas Eve, and New Year's Eve is on a Sunday as well, right?
I'll look it up. Christmas week 2024.
While we're looking this up, make sure you get your questions in the room over in the chat on YouTube. We will have time, it looks like, to answer some questions. So if you have any tickers you want to talk about, any questions you'd like answered, if you'd like me to just write a poem for you, whatever you need.
So yes, obviously Christmas is off. There's no half day for the stock market, I believe, but it looks like the bond markets are closed early on Friday. So if there is even a half day, it's Friday, but I don't think it applies to the actual stock market. So full days all around.
Okay. All right, we're going to think on that for the rest of the show and tell you guys the schedule for next week as well. All right, what do I have on watch? ANY, yeah, I see Dawson in the room, did really well on it. Huddy apparently was in it. Nice move following Bitcoin on a nice heater this year. Good to see for Kyle. He has promised that he is going to give me that Bitcoin that we talked about from $10. I was worried about it, but he has decided that or the GBTC. So I didn't really pay too much attention to this yesterday. Breakouts just have not been at all where the bulk of any money that I'm making is coming from. And, had I been staring at this, maybe there's a world where you're in from the 160s to 180s. But even then, you're looking at, 60 to 80 cents best case scenario. I don't know. The volume's just not out of this world. And I'm okay missing it. I'd rather it go another couple days, like be a bigger run than this initial one, so the first red day actually means something. But yeah, PBLA top watch for me. I shorted this yesterday on an overextended gap up. Pretty much was just involved all day long with a stop loss and high day that never hit, and it ended up being a lot like, I don't know what the most recent one was, that VFS top, where it just kind of same idea, but ended up being the top based on the daily chart candle, but never really rewarded longs or shorts that day, never broke out of that range. So PBLA, similar style. So I swung it overnight, have been getting, and now I'm getting the gap down almost 20%. I took some off at 124 this morning, kind of looking at that $1 area as a target. So any morning spike towards the green or red green, I will be thinking about adding and being patient, because I've been in this trade for, I feel like Kyle right now. I'm patient, so I might as well just stick with it. STTK, I haven't looked at this morning, so we'll see. Just one of those big gappers that is holding up from $2 all the way up to $7.50. A little squeezer that is holding up, not breaking down. I thought once it was under 6, it would fade off more, but it bounced right back yesterday. Volume not there yet, so just gonna keep an eye on this one. Keep it on the corner chart. If I do see volume around 650 to 7, maybe worth a try here, and a pretty clean daily chart that has proven to do pretty good volume. I think the news on this one was phase 1 results or something. Yeah, phase 1. So nothing out of this world, but not that scary of a float either, like a 34 million float. So we'll see on that one. I think that's all I have for trades. Yeah, ICCT. I know I think there's a question about a first green day on there. I answered it yesterday in the room as well. I don't really, for some reason, my brain just doesn't want to buy ICCT first green day. Technically, this is a green day here, so this would be a reversal from Gratani's playbook, but it technically wouldn't be a reversal from Gratani's playbook because it didn't run 300%. It ran, what, 200? A little over 200%. I just don't love this range. $1 to $3 isn't like insane. The more range there is, the more I can mess up and still, fall on $1 to $2 or $3 a share. So in this case, I have to be quite perfect with the risk reward, trying to risk like 5 or 10 cents to make 30 or 40 cents. But I also just kind of look back on ICCT's data chart from when we were all together at Lake Winnipesaukee having lobster bisque, clam chowder, and calamari. It wasn't really the best balancer in terms of a predictable nature, and the day it did it. So I don't really have high hopes. There was no news that got this news going. It didn't really overextend itself too much. The first red days and the days ensuing were super low volume. I just feel like I just don't want to look at the stock anymore. Can I be straight up with you? I don't want to look at it. Hit that like button as well. Like's not where it needs to be. It needs another 12 to 13. Thomas Check is saying that. Hit that like. I agree 100%. Let's see if there's any questions. Jack Kellogg in the chat. Joey, 30 for 30% off. Yeah, for anyone who's new, read the links in the description. 30% off now till January 1st. Merch for sale. Giveaway tonight, 7 p.m. Go to the Clover Twitter. Get yourself all caught up there. Hey, guys, what do you think of my game plan for today? Looking at CAN for possible red day. PBLA, I have short yesterday. Looking to add today's week. And ICC for first green day. Well, I answered 2 of those. Kyle, what do you think about their plan for CAN for a possible red day?
CAN? I think that's also crypto related, if I'm not mistaken.
Canon?
Yeah, Canon Inc. Let's see. So with any Bitcoin play, I've always, even before I was a big Bitcoin long, like before I even had a lot of
Bitcoin long,
like before I was
bull.
I say that because it can sound like I come off biased, because yes, these will have pullbacks totally. But even before I was a bull, like I always found a very tough time trading them, day trading them, whether it was long or short. And so any chart I'm looking at, Can, Mara, Coin, Riot, like they all look great to me. The problem is the timing. Like timing's everything. And I have never historically been good at timing them. I really, sometimes they follow Bitcoin, sometimes they don't, sometimes they're lagging behind. So I don't have a good answer. I mean, so yes, technically at some point they're going to pull back totally. And at Bitcoin as well. Right. But the timing of it is everything, whether you make or lose money. And so I don't really have an answer, unfortunately. If I even try it, all right, go for it, Dom.
I don't care about Bitcoin. It's only up from $1.20 to $2.37 in 6 days. I want it to go from $1 to $2.37 in the first half hour of the day, and then double from there, and then have another gap up the next day. Like speed, I want it to be quick and fast in a short period of time. And this one is just kind of barely gone, hasn't even gone 100% yet in 6 days. Like, how much do I really expect that to pull on any one day? Like I think ANY is a good example of that with the Bitcoin sector, where you have this move that goes from 60 cents up to $1.80, and then the first red day is literally like a doji day that barely goes red and goes down 20 cents. When you have that kind of thesis behind it, the bull idea, I feel like first red day, like they have to be crazy overextended to really get good first red days. I think was what Kyle was trying to say, and I don't think Kanan was.
Yeah, that's well said. That's a great point.
The Bitcoin sector has historically been like a laggy sector where it's like, and Kyle's kind of like brought this point up in the past, where it's like Bitcoin starts to run, then Ethereum starts to run, then some of the crypto stocks start to run, and it's like, it's not completely like same day movements, but it's more of this like long grinding, like uptrend.
Low. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it makes for a very hard short environment, because you never know if a first red day is really just a pullback on like the big picture of what Bitcoin is doing, and it comes back and it wants much higher. And if you're like trying to short red days in the midst of like a real Bitcoin run, the pullbacks are going to be very brief and not a big percent gain, and then any kind of patience, and you're dealing with a risk setting. So that's just kind of like the environment of short selling Bitcoin. So like, unless what Dom said, unless you have like a blow off top and Bitcoin truly does run, and then everything kind of supernovas towards the end of the run, then you might have some like real first red days. But right now you're kind of like in between, whether these are topping out or you're just in like a small consolidation dip phase and it's going to go to new high. You don't really know. That's the problem.
Right.
So
Consolidate dip.
Old dip. In my experience, like I've seen some really good pulls, but it's usually over a multi-day kind of idea. And the biggest issue with trading or swinging crypto stocks is you may think, it's called Mara, say like Mara just holy crap itself, closes red today. But then all of a sudden, Bitcoin runs to new highs. It goes up 10% overnight. Well, you're screwed. like there's nothing you can do about it. You can't exit your Mara position. It's all based on Bitcoin to some degree, and you're done.
Dude, I remember doing that there was like a 3-month stretch back in like 2017 or 18 where you would be buying the third green day on a breakout, just kind of gambling that you weren't expecting a giant gap down if you were wrong on Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin was up even higher, you were just going to keep getting paid every single day. And eventually I got so stressful watching Bitcoin Wisdom on my phone at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., just kind of making sure we're still good. And every time what would happen was we would be flying high at like 11 p.m. or midnight. I'd go to bed, and I'd wake up, and it's like 10% lower than that. And it's like, they know when I'm sleeping.
There were a couple months where Dom was like Dom's watch list on a Friday was pretty much like, y'all know that Bitcoin loves to gap up over the weekend. So I'm looking at Bitcoin, and it's like
I hate
Bitcoin gapped up every day. It was such a it was more like a comical statement, but it did. It wasn't rooted in lies, and it was just funny times, honestly. I just want to say one thing about Utica Caller's watch list, and then I gotta get out of here in 2 minutes.
Head to the mall.
I like the plan. I'm not going to comment on the individual stocks. I would just say a proper game plan might include some levels attributed to your plan, so you can make that a little bit more concrete in the future. Not just, okay, here's a stock and here's a setup, but what levels and why could be good things to add to a game plan. Instead of it just being one sentence, it could be 3 type of idea.
For sure. All right. I don't see any more. PRZO first green day. I'll be straight up with you. First green days don't come on my radar randomly. So if you say first green day and I don't know what it is, there's a 98% chance it's not a first green day. And it's not. Here we are. PRZO, literally just a day one gapper. Up 50% on the day from the lows. We are completely, I'm going to draw like a Fibonacci arc or something to recognize this area. This is a separate vehicle from where we are now. The volume's gone. The volatility's gone. No one's there. No one's watching it. This move, once it's over and the volume drifts back to nothing, we go back to being a stock that's just trading in its ranges, doing its thing every day. A first green day for me needs to come off the backside of this move. If it isn't, it ain't a first green day. It's a first green day. I should never miss one because it should be the hottest stocks that people are talking about. They're getting squeezed short. Someone's buying it up. Longs are buying every high daybreak. They're swinging overnight. They're buying again the next day. Like, it should be the hottest stock. It's not a play that there's a lot of leeway on, because the best ones really are the ones that have the biggest range, the most volume, the best catalyst, the most shorts involved, and that go from true extension to true backside, and we get a nice fade. All right, we're going to wrap it up right there. Kyle, do you want to say anything about your guide that you just released real quick?
I'd like to
Yes.
say something.
What?
Oh, go for it, Daddy.
Just wanted to say that I downloaded it. I've watched not all of the guide, but I started it, and it's great.
It's
been
phenomenal.
It's been a lot of fun. End of day, plugging in all my trades, taking photos of my charts. Although I forgot to do it last night.
Oh my! Are you serious? You're gonna fall behind.
I forgot to take photos.
You're gonna fall behind, man.
But it's really nice because especially when you do that on a Friday and you're looking at your trade for the past 5 days, and you can really see, okay, what caused stress, what caused losses, what caused wins, and like what can I do better next week. It's a really good way to review your trades, which if you are not doing, you are falling behind. In my opinion, the market moves very fast. A trend can be created in a day and then expanded upon the next day or completely be gone. So you really need to be staying astute.
Yeah, I'm having the time of my life using Kyle's spreadsheet. I'm going over it on Sundays with Kellogg, and and I did a whole video lesson for all you 4-leafs out there. If you're getting the 30% off for 7 days, $7 trial, make sure you go to the video lessons and you watch all of them that are in there. I think they're all super beneficial. But the most recent one is basically about how much work is required to be a successful trader. And I'm doing a crazy amount of work normally, but when I go through the spreadsheet on top of it that Kyle has provided with us that he's been doing for 8 years, and I know that he's done the same process every single day for 8 years, that it's no surprise that he just recently had his first red month ever. It's no surprise that he makes more consistent money than anyone else. How his losses are so in control. How his game plan is always so right. Like, it is that disciplined approach that is just like tattooed into him at this point. And that spreadsheet is a great way to do it. I know there's websites like Kinfo and Profitly and TraderView that track a lot of your information, but manually doing a lot of it, it really makes you continue to go over it all week long, and having to explain myself, go over Monday's trades on a Sunday, and have a little picture of my actual trade on it. It's been a game changer for me. So you can get that guide, clovertrade.io. I think it's $350. And I'll tell you what, if you're a beginner, intermediate trader, or looking to get back on track as a successful trader, great place to start. Great place to start. And so well done. Kyle Williams did it, for God's sake, so you know it's going to be well done. All right, let's get on out of here. Last thing I'll say is, if you're not in the raffle and you want a free subscription for a month to start off the new year, go over to our Clover Twitter, put your email in, put your name in, and make sure you were there tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Set an alarm, set an alert, whatever you got to do. Make sure you're there tonight. And we'll close it out with something from Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. It is in our power to have no opinion about a thing, and not to be disturbed in our soul, for things themselves have no natural power to form our judgments. Have a wonderful day, everyone. We'll see you tonight on Wine Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Looking forward to giving away another raffle ticket, 2 of them to be exact. If things get wild, I might give away another one. Don't tell management. We'll see you there tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a great day.